On the title of today's class, words of wisdom. All right, I'm going to read that.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing.
All right, on the wisdom is the principal thing. Read.
Therefore, get wisdom.
Read.
And with all thy getting, get understanding.
All right, on the wisdom is the principal thing. All right, with all your getting of wisdom, get the understanding. When we look back on King Solomon's life, all right, the Most High had granted him anything he wanted. All right, anything you want, it'll be done for you. And what he asked for? He asked for wisdom to judge this people. All right, on how do we get this wisdom? Go to Sirach 6.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. Sirach, chapter 6, verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught.
All right, if you want to be taught, all right, in this walk, in this truth, hey, man, it's on the brothers set up. I'm above you to teach you the right way. Read.
And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent.
Read on.
If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding.
Read.
And if thou bow down ear, thou shalt be wise.
Read on.
Stand in a multitude of elders, and cleave unto him that is wise.
And then cleave unto him that is wise. All right, all of us got on the counselors set up. All right, on the soldiers above us, on officers above us. The sisters got the elder sisters, all right, above you to show you and guide you the way. Read.
Verse 35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse.
See, this is where we come into problems. All right, our people don't like to be told anything. All right, our people think, man, I know better. I know I got a soldier above me. I know I got an officer, but I know a better way. Read.
And let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
Escape thee. All right, I want to touch on the following counsel real quick. All right, on the brothers coming to this walk, all right, all of us are sick on the first and foremost. All of us are sick. Some of us is just further along than the other ones. All right, we're set up to turn around and guide you on the mistakes that we did. So you won't have to do that. The same way with your sons. All right, I tell them, don't do that. It ain't going to be good for you. All right, if they listen, all praises. A lot of times as children, you don't like to listen. All right, read.
Verse 36. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him.
All right, so that's a problem too with our people. Our people don't see the leaders on the setup as wise and understanding men. All right, just because we got the same on the skin color, man, they bred it in us. That's just a nigga up there in a purple garment. You ain't got to listen to him. Drop that go to Sirach on the 37 and 16 real quick.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 16.
Read.
Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action.
All right, how many of us can truly say that we follow that thing right there? I want to read that again.
Sirach, chapter 37, verse 16. Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action.
So when our people get the counsel? After they done did the action. The action is finished, and then it's, officer, I messed up. Right. Like, what you want me to do now? Fix it for you? Come to us before you have the problem, or when you're faced with the problem. All right, I got to call my soldier. I got to call my officer. All right, I don't know how to deal with this situation. I got to call my officer. I got to get help. Because we face some, major tasks in our lives. All right, brothers on the losing jobs and on the getting wives and on the dealing with your wives, on the wicked women still in the world. All these things is facing you every day. And if you're not following the counsel or seeking the counsel, you're going to go off.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 14. For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain.
I want to read it again.
For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable.
So the first thing that you got to understand about yourself is you got wicked thoughts. All of us got wicked thoughts, man. Your brain is wicked. All right, it's been programmed by television, school systems, all your life to think a certain way, and it's wrong. On read.
And our devices are but uncertain. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weigheth down the mind that museth upon many things.
All right, so your flesh, Paul goes into the war between the flesh and the spirit. All right, it's a constant battle. And if you get overtaken by your flesh, you're going to be, man, there's so many things, man, that can destroy you in this walk. All right, if it's a wicked wife at home, all right, she ain't listening to you, and then your flesh, it take you out the spirit because your mind tell you, hey, man, I got to snap on her real quick. All right, man, I know that she don't believe, I believe, but I'm going to force it on her. And then you're setting a bad example of what an Israelite is. All right, if you're dealing with a wicked spouse, so they should be seeing what a true Israelite is, the change in your life. All right, if you saying, hey, yo, baby, man, I'm going to the Sabbath, man, to be with my brothers, and then you come home and you that same person that she always was with, she ain't going to change at all.
Bring out precept real quick. Go to the book of Sirach. Go back to it. Chapter 21 and verse 12. The officer, he said something. He said, you're an Israelite here. In a nutshell, he said, you're an Israelite here, but when you're back at home, you're the same nigga from the block. Now, that's not what we teach, all right? That's not what we teach. So if you are showing that example, you're a fool according to the Bible, all right? Because you're rejecting the knowledge and the counsel that's sitting literally right before you. Because I know myself, Officer David, Officer Obadiah, we wouldn't teach anybody to do so. We wouldn't teach you to do that. First and foremost, the scriptures don't, and our bishops don't. Our deacons don't, our captains don't. So if you're rolling in that spirit, I guess you are in a cult because you would blindly be following us for no reason. That means you don't really want to be with us because you're not even doing what's taught here. You just keep coming. You don't stop. You just keep coming back. That's not what we're doing here. All right, read what you got.
The book of Sirach, chapter 21, verse 12.
Come on.
He that is not wise will not be taught.
So the Bible says the brother who's not wise will not be taught, meaning what? He won't let reason go before every enterprise. He won't get counsel before every action. It's hard to be taught if you're just walking and doing things and then calling afterwards. It's very, very hard to be taught. Come on.
But there is a wisdom which multiplieth bitterness.
Which multiplieth bitterness. That's the brother who thinks that I'll do it my way, and that's going to end up better for me. No, that's going to end up in bitterness. When you go against the counsel, you're going against the counsel of God, and it's only going to be bad from there.
A Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 16.
That's right.
And hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon the earth. And with labor do we find the things that are before us.
All right, the scripture says hardly do we guess aright. So that's right there you living in your carnal flesh and you doing what you think is right. Not what the scripture said, not what your leadership is showing you to do, that example. You do what you want to do. All right, I'm going to go to Sirach 32 and 17. Actually, start at 19.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32, verse 19. Do nothing without advice, and when thou hast once done, repent not.
All right, God say do nothing without advice. All right, it ain't talking about making a sandwich should you make the turkey or peanut butter and jelly. All right, it's talking about your life. All right, life, the choices, life decisions that you got to make. Do nothing without advice. All right, call your counselors in front of you. And I'm going to give you a warning or a hint. All right, on one thing about counselors, on when you come to get on the counsel from us, and we give you the counsel, and you walk away from that counsel and do your own thing, so we don't forget about that. We don't ever forget about that thing. All right, man, this brother just don't listen. Are we going to keep counseling? Of course. But you're getting yourself a reputation of, that brother just ain't in the spirit, man. He don't listen. All right, he do his own thing, man. He rebellious. All right, and on the what is rebellion like? A witchcraft. All right, on God compare you to a witch at that point. All right, on what can we do for you? So on the when you seek counsel and you're sincere about it, follow the counsel. All right, on the trust in the men that the Lord had put over you. All right, if we're going off or we're doing something wrong, the Most High going to expose us. All right, it always happens. Drop that on the go to Proverbs 15:22.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 22. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed.
You see that on what you doing? Hey, on why is it always going wrong? On why I'm always in trouble? Always screwing this up or screwing that up. You ain't getting no counsel. You're not following the counsel that you're getting. On read.
But in a multitude of counselors, they are established.
So that's why we give you a soldier and we give you an officer above you. And then we have the Friday night Bible studies to come and ask your questions, to bring forth on whatever question, whatever problem that you might be going through. It's help already set up. All right, on the 9 times out of 10, somebody already been through what you're going through. And then we're going to point you. All right, so you're having trouble with your wife? Leadership had trouble with their wives. And this is what they did. All right, we wasn't doing our own thing and figuring it out as we go. So we learned from the officers and the captains and the deacons above us. Oh, shoot. Captain ain't say go home and cuss nobody out. He said seek peace. The same thing the Bible says, seek peace. Well, then how can we go from the scriptures of seeking peace and then we're leaving the Sabbath and we get home and it's all out war now? That ain't right. Somebody ain't living right. Somebody ain't living by the scriptures like they say. All right, so jump to 32.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 32. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul.
Own soul. So if you turn the counsel away and you, constantly want to do your own thing, God said that you hate your own soul. And you're going to get destroyed for that thing. All right, you can bet your bottom dollar on that.
Give me Hebrews 13 and 17. What officer is going into is exactly correct, and the scripture back this up too.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you.
Why does the scripture say obey them that have the rule over you? Anyone? All right, go ahead.
Because they've been through and they're watching out for your soul.
Yes, they seen things before you. It says obey them that have. God put them in that position. They've been placed in this position for a reason. Everybody is the Most High God is the one that raised one and put one down. So everyone that you see that is placed before you, the Most High God put them in that position. Now it says obey them. Read it again.
Hebrews chapter 13 verse 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves.
Submit yourself. That's a big word. To submit. The same way you're telling your wife to submit unto you, you got to submit to leadership. Why do you have to submit to leadership? It's going to tell you. Read on.
For they watch for your souls.
They watch for your soul. They know something you don't know. They see things that you haven't seen. They walk places that you have not walked. They heard counsel from higher leadership that you haven't heard. So by them telling you what should you do and what shouldn't you do, that's for your own good. Read on.
As they that must give account, that they may do it with joy.
Because when they get to the position that the Most High God is asking, how did you handle such and such brother? How did you handle such and such sister? They will have a good account to give unto you. And read on.
And not with grief.
That when they pray for you, when they doing things, everything that they doing, giving you counsel, they will give you counsel with a good conscience, not with grief, because you don't reject what they are telling you. If you're dealing with a brother, everything that you're telling him, he doesn't want to hear it. Now, when you try to give him advice, you're not truly open to give him what you would have wanted to give him because he doesn't want to hear it. You're doing it with grief. It says not with grief. Is that all?
No. For that is unprofitable for you.
It's not good for you. That's what will lead you to destruction. Because now the counsel that could have saved your life, you didn't get it. A brother that had in having family issue, wife issue, and now you could have get a good counsel teaching you how to deal with your wife. Now you don't get that.
All praise. I want to go to 2 Corinthians 13:5 real quick.
2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves.
Do what?
Examine yourselves.
Read.
Whether ye be in the faith.
Uh-huh.
Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves?
Don't you know your own selves? On the going real quick on the back to on the you on the living two separate lives. All right, on you here and you being on a super Israelite on the Sabbath, but you go back home and then you fall back into on the same old ways.
Right. I like to call that brother dumbass.
Brother dumbass. There you go.
That's his name.
All right, all of us got to, man, examine yourself. All right, examine yourself. I want to really look at yourself and say, hey, man, I deal with this spirit on right there. All right, man, I'm emotional at times. All right, I deal with anger at times. I need help for this thing. All right, I want to keep on showing this example to my family. All right, to the friends or the people around you. Because you all they got as an Israelite. All right, all these people ain't in here. All right, so they looking at you as an Israelite. And on whatever example you put forth, is on what they're going to learn. Go to Ezekiel 39:7.
Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 7. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel.
All right, y'all see that? All right, on God's people is the Israelites. On most of us is sleep out there in the world doing their own thing, being on the Hellenized as Americans. Following their ways. All right, you have to make the Lord's name known amongst them. So you got to set that example of what an Israelite is. Read.
So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel.
Read.
And I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore.
God ain't going to let us in here pollute his name anymore. All right, if you faking the funk, if you pretending, hey, God is going to expose you and you're going to be gone. Trust me. Read.
You know what's funny about that? Just look around. We had more people like a month or two ago. So what the officer is saying is of the Lord. From time to time, you may hear myself or one of the 20s or the 10s or what it be, whatever it may be, excuse me. You may hear us say something to you. We'll come up to you, just talk to you. What about this? All right, I'll leave it alone. There's a reason why those words are said at certain times. For example, I have enough spiritual understanding to know that when it comes to a certain brother, a certain sister, it's a time clock now. Mm-hmm. All right, you reach this point, so if you don't change this or that, it's only a matter of time before you out of here. Some people get it, and some people just shake it off nonchalant. But as you can look around, a lot of brothers and sisters did not fix it. And that's what happens. The Most High, he shakes the tree. So you can either what? Be a wise man and listen to the counsel so you can endure, or you can continue to do the same thing. All right, time for you to go. Most High, take the spirit from you.
Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 7. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore.
Read.
And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, the Holy One in Israel.
Our last scripture, go to Matthew on the 5 and 16.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 16. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Okay, that's your job right there as an Israelite. All right, the way you take counsel, the way you give on the counsel. All right, this is how you let your light, shine. All right, if you can't accept the counsel, all right, if you want to live a double life in this thing, God is going to take your light, He's going to take your spirit away from you, and you'll be gone.
I also bring out, what is that, in Proverbs the 4th chapter, that wisdom is the principal thing. All right, so if it's the principal thing, we need to have a good understanding of what wisdom is. All right, read what you got.
Sirach chapter 19 verse 20.
Come on.
The fear of the Lord is all wisdom.
The fear of the Lord is all wisdom. Come on.
And in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
All right, so in all wisdom is the performance of the law. For example, you may know thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. But what is the root behind thou shalt not kill? That goes into hatred. What goes into hatred? Murmuring, backbiting, arguing. When you break those things down, what is the root of it? That means you just ain't right. That means you lack wisdom. If you cannot control your spirit, no matter what the situation may be, if you have a covetous eye, if you're envious, lustful, no matter what it may be, understand that wisdom can help you if you take counsel, if you listen to the men who came before you. Okay? We'll drop that. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and 33. All right, it's not going to be a long class at all. We just want to hit some key points. All right, so Lord willing, you can take this class and actually apply it rather than what? Having the wisdom of bitterness, where time after time again, you find yourself coming to leadership after the fact, after it's already turmoil, and you want leadership to mend it back together. Read this.
Proverbs chapter 14 verse 33.
Come on.
Wisdom resteth in the heart of him that hath understanding.
So hold that. Precept came to mind. Sirach 21 and 11. Sirach 21 and 11. And we'll go right back to Proverbs 14.
Sirach chapter 21 and verse 11.
Come on.
He that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof.
So if you want understanding, what do you have to do first? You got to keep the laws. You have to keep the laws. Read it again.
He that keepeth the law of the Lord,
come on,
getteth the understanding thereof.
Read.
And the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom.
Is what?
Is wisdom.
Let's go back to Proverbs 14 and 33.
Proverbs chapter 14 verse 33.
Come on.
Wisdom resteth in the heart of him that hath understanding.
So if you keep God's commandments consistently, okay, read.
But that which is in the midst of fools is made known.
Meaning what? That's when you're going to get that wisdom of bitterness. Because you have one brother who leans to the counsel of the leadership, and then you have the other brother who leans to the counsel of fools. Those who don't know right from wrong. Those who don't have experience. Those who want to do their own thing. Drop that. Let's go to Sirach chapter 18, verse 20. All right, going into what Officer David was talking about, into examining yourself. Just be real with yourself. All right, we're going to dive into some wisdom. And, you know, who better else to deal with wisdom than King Solomon? All right, we're going to deal with some of his experiences and some of his wise counsel, okay? But read this first.
The book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 20.
Come on.
Before judgment.
Before what?
Before judgment.
All right, before stuff hits the fan. Before stuff hits, I already know. I've been through that a lot. Get a call, get questioned this and this and that. All right, so before your day comes, and I want y'all to understand, I say this all the time, your day is coming. It's going to come. So don't think you're going to sit here and your card is not going to be pulled. Every last one of you, your card's going to be pulled. So you should really listen to what the Most High is saying in His scripture. Read it again.
Before judgment Examine thyself.
Do what?
Examine thyself.
So before your day comes, it's the inevitable. There's nothing you can do about it. You know it's coming. So you better make sure you're examining yourself every day. Read.
And in the day of visitation,
So when it is your time, when your card is pulled, read.
thou shalt find mercy.
Meaning what? If you're sincere, if you're really trying to overcome your sins, Most High give you mercy. But if you're that brother or sister who is not being sincere, we went over this the other week. If you're that brother or sister who is not being sincere, guess what? You're going to get exposed. It's going to happen. That's just how it goes. All right, give me Proverbs 27 and 19. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 19. Going into examining yourself, man.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 19.
Come on.
As in water, face answereth to face, so the heart of man to man.
So, Brother Court, he used the example. Walking near a body of water or a pond or whatnot. You look into it, and when you lock eyes with yourself, you know exactly everything about yourself. Who has done something that they should not have done, and they go into the mirror and put their head down because they can't look at themselves? Who's done that before? If you haven't, I know you full of crap. I already know it. So I ain't even going to look on that side of the room. I ain't going to look over there. If you ain't done that before, you ain't here for all the wrong reasons. I'm going to tell you straight. So y'all know y'all done that before. You did something you weren't supposed to do, and you cannot look at yourself because you hate the person that you see in your reflection. That's what it's talking about. Read it again.
Proverbs chapter 27 verse 19.
Come on.
As in water, face answereth to face.
So it says face answereth to face. So you see the man that you should be, but you see who? You see the carnal man. Read.
So the heart of man to man.
Heart of man to man. So when you're looking at the reflection, it's heart to heart. It's like, damn. Bruh, like, what are you doing, bruh? Bruh, I got to get this thing together, man. From there, let's go to James 1 and 23. James chapter 1 and verse 23. Tell you what, start at 22.
The book of James chapter 1 verse 22.
Come on.
But be ye doers of the word,
Come on.
and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
Doing what?
Deceiving your own selves.
So brothers and sisters, understand. You're doing yourself a disservice by coming here and going home and being somebody completely different. You are deceiving your own self. Come on.
For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer,
So if you are somebody who's a hearer but you don't do it, read.
he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
You are like a natural man, meaning a carnal man, beholding his face in glass. So for example, that glass represents what, brothers? Brother, let me hear you. What does that glass represent? You're not sure? Zakor. No, Reuben. Let me hear Reuben.
Shalom.
Shalom.
The glass represents the mirror.
That's right. The glass represents the mirror. Same way as that reflection in the pond, saying the same thing, that mirror. Read it again, verse 23.
Verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
Beholding his natural face in a glass. From there, give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 22. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 22. Read that.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 22.
Read.
For wisdom, which is the worker of all things.
Stop. So it says, for wisdom, which is the worker of all things. Jump down to verse 25.
Verse 25. For she is the breath of the power of God.
So it says that wisdom is the breath of the power of God. Read verse 26.
Verse 26. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror.
The what?
The unspotted mirror of the power of God.
Now, Wisdom is the unspotted mirror, meaning what? That's the brother or sister who's in the spirit. That's what that's talking about. But in James 1:23, that's talking about what? The natural carnal man, the wicked man, the sinner. But it says if you have wisdom, read it again from the top, verse 26.
Verse 26.
Come on.
For she is the brightness of the everlasting light.
Read.
The unspotted mirror of the power of God.
Read.
And the image of his goodness.
So when you in the spirit, you can look at that mirror and grin. You feeling good because you in the spirit, because you dwelling with wisdom. But once you become that carnal, natural man or sister, you can't even look at yourself because you spotted. You got blemishes. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
They don't understand that. I guess nobody in here is real. That's how I teach. I don't care about the flashiness. No, I'm going to get real with you. Because if you're not real, I want you away from me. That's real. Now, that's real. If you ain't real, I want you away from me. Please get away from me. It's either we're going to do this thing for real or we're not going to do it at all. That's what the Most High God is doing. He's drawing that line. Those who want to be real and be sincere, if you fall, get your behind back up. Or you could be the person who said, I don't want to get it right. So if you don't want to get it right, please get away from us. From there, give me Ecclesiastes 4:15. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 15. You know what? Hold that. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 7, and I want you to read verse 15. Then we'll go to Ecclesiastes.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 15.
Come on.
God hath granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as it is meet for the things that are given me.
Come on.
Because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom.
It says that the Most High God is he that leadeth unto wisdom. Understand, this is the wisest man to ever walk the face of the earth speaking. This is King Solomon speaking right here. Read.
And directeth the wise.
Come on.
For in his hand are both we and our words.
Read.
All wisdom also
Come on.
all wisdom also and knowledge of workmanship.
Read.
For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are.
So Solomon's saying that the Most High God, he imparted into him some certain knowledge. Meaning what? He had the knowledge of everything. He understood literally everything. But you have to understand, even with that being said, read verse 1.
Verse 1.
Come on.
I myself also am a mortal man.
Am a what?
A mortal man.
Meaning what? King Solomon even had a point in time where he couldn't look at himself in the mirror, even though he dwelt with all wisdom. I love to teach about King Solomon because if he's the wisest man to ever live and he fell, why are we trying to go against counsel when the counsel's from the scriptures, and majority of the counsel's coming from his proverbs, his wisdom, his songs, you understand, his wise sayings, but we want to do it ourselves. And even the wisest man that ever walked the earth fell. That doesn't make any sense. It don't make no sense. Read verse 1 again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1.
Come on.
I myself also am a mortal man.
Read.
Like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth.
Saying what? We all the same. We all descend from Adam. That's what he's saying. There's nothing special about him. It's just that when the Most High asked him what he wanted, he asked for the right thing. He wasn't worried about blessings and increase. No, he just said, I just want wisdom. I want wisdom how to judge my people, how to deal righteously. He was in the spirit, so the Most High God granted him that wisdom. Now, go to Ecclesiastes 4 and 15. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 15.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 15.
Come on.
I considered all the living which would walk under the sun.
Come on.
With the second child that shall stand up in his stead.
So he's saying he considered all the living, meaning what? Generation after generation. The son that will come after the father. Come on.
There is no end of all the people.
So King Solomon says there's no end of all the people. Read.
Even of all that have been before them.
Read.
they also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit.
King Solomon saw the beginning, the midst, and the end of times. He saw all of that. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 to get into what Brother Losias brought up.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9.
Come on.
The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done.
Read.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
There's no new thing under the sun. All right, there's no new thing. All right, just jump to chapter 6 and 10 real quick, and we'll come right back.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 verse 10.
Read.
That which hath been is named already.
So he's saying the thing that has been, which is named already. Okay? So he starts off in chapter 1 saying there's no new thing under the sun, but now he's going to tell you what that thing is. Read.
And it is known that it is man.
That it is who?
It is man.
There's no new man under the sun. All right, we've all been here before. All right, read.
Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he.
We cannot contend with the Most High God who made us. There's nothing we can do. All we can do is be obedient and walk in his commandment and let this thing play out. That's all we can do. Okay? Let's go back to Ecclesiastes 1. I want to read 10 on down.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 10.
Come on.
Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
So it's saying, is there anything we can say that's new? No, we could say today that cell phones are new, but you don't know that. You understand? You don't know that. There's been many great empires before us. You don't know that a cell phone is new. Who's to say that? What proof do you have? Read.
It hath been already of old time, which was before us.
I'm going to stick with the Bible. You feel what I'm saying? The Bible tells me, hey, there ain't nothing new. Literally. You got sneakers on. Hey, I don't know what our forefathers was wearing. The scripture told me that there's nothing new under the sun. So I can't tell you exactly how things were. I'm pretty sure they were similar according to that scripture. Read.
Verse 11.
Come on.
There is no remembrance of former things.
But that's how we won't be able to prove it, because there's no what?
There is no remembrance of former things.
Come on.
Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
So once you die, all right, you go to the dust, and then once your spirit gets thrown back, hey, it's a totally different life. But understand this. Go to Daniel. Let's go to the book of Daniel real quick. Let's go to the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and 13.
Daniel chapter 12 verse 13.
Come on.
But go thou thy way till the end be.
Read.
For thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days.
At the end of the days, meaning what? Whatever lifetime you come back in, you are going to do the same thing every time. You're not going to be a righteous person in this life and a wicked person in this life. No, you are going to be that same person, that same spirit. You're going to do the same thing in every life. It says, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of days. So when it comes time for judgment, hey, what you did is what you did. You can't come back and make it up. No, that's just who you are. Sirach chapter 18 and verse 12. Watch this.
Sirach chapter 18 verse 12. He saw and perceived their end to be evil.
So we're going to read another scripture later on in class. It says, he saw and perceived their end to be evil, because the nature of man is sinful. The nature of man is sinful. And the Most High God saw that thing. Read.
Therefore, he multiplied his compassion.
Therefore, he multiplied his compassion. He gave us time to get it right. Even the righteous, the most righteous amongst us, guess what? By nature, he's sinful too. Even the most righteous. But the Most High God is a man of wisdom. He made a covenant, and he prophesied that what? He would come back for a certain people, an elect that would keep the commandments of God. But he perceived that what? Evilness was in the sons of men. So he did what? He showed mercy to us. He multiplied his compassion so what? We could get it right. You understand that, right? All right, let's go back.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 11.
Come on.
There is no remembrance of former things, Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
You know what? Jump down to 16 for the sake of time.
Verse 16. I commune with mine own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge.
Come on.
And I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit.
Solomon said it's a waste of time. So if you are curious in other matters, like I wonder what this feels like, or I wonder if I should do that. If it don't line up with the scriptures with God, don't do it. Solomon just told you it's not worth it. It's vanity. It's vexation of spirit. It's a waste of time. I've done it. I've literally done everything. Don't do that. He's the wisest man ever to walk the earth. So why wouldn't we listen to him? So once again, today's class is called Words of Wisdom. All right? From there, go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9. For the sake of time, I'm going to jump down. Start at verse 3.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 3.
Come on.
This is an evil among all things that are done under the sun.
It says that this is an evil among all things that are done under the sun. Come on.
That there is one event unto all.
Read.
Yea, also the heart of the sons of men is full of evil.
The hearts of the sons of men is what?
Is full of evil.
Read.
And madness is in their heart while they live.
Come on.
And after that they go to the dead.
Because the Most High God, he understood that. That's why he had to multiply mercies upon us. Because all of us in this room is worthy of what? We all worthy of death. But that's showing what? The love and compassion he has for us. All right, come on.
Verse 4. For to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope.
There is hope. Read.
For a living dog is better than a dead lion.
All right, because when you're living, you still got a chance. You still got a chance as long as you are alive. All right, give me Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 13.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 13.
Now, if you can't keep up, just write the scripture down. Just write it down and listen. Read.
For God made not death.
Come on.
Neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living.
You see that? The Most High God, no. That's not why he made us. He didn't make us to die. No. We brung that upon ourselves. Right. Okay? From there, give me Ecclesiastes 7. I want to touch this real quick. Verse 16, read down a little bit for me.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 16.
Come on.
Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
All right. Who can explain Ecclesiastes 7 and 16? Read it again.
Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise.
It says, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. What it's saying is, don't be overwise in your own conceit. Meaning, don't get to the point where now you think you know more than the men who came before you. Right. Where you now can't take counsel or you can't take correction because you believe you know better. Okay? That's what it's going into. A Christian will tell you you shouldn't keep the laws. That's what a Christian would say. They say you over righteous. That's where they get that from. That's not what it's talking about.
It's so hard to serve God. And why when I say that I'm a Jew, it sound odd. For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.